I did not know it existed until this year. I had no idea it had been around for 18, this is the 18th year. I did not know it was proclamated by the city. I can't say if I've heard anybody else say anything about it because it's not played up like it should be. I mean, realistically, what you should have here in this front room should be Common, should be Twista, should be every rapper that came from Chicago should be here.
It's DJ Chili Q of WHPK, the golden era. And I'm here at the Chicago hip hop exhibit. Can we see that? So we're here at the Chicago hip hop exhibit. You guys should really get out and check it out. It's taking me back from the very beginning all the way up to today. And every wall is covered with something representing hip hop. And a lot of it, most of it is Chicago hip hop. And it's very impressive.
In the year 2003, a delegation of Chicago hip hop artists, including Amina, Chris Coolout, what's his name, TJ Crawford, Mark Armstrong, and a few others that I might not be having their names right off the back, went down to City Hall with Walter Burnett, the alderman, and discussed getting a resolution for Chicago hip hop. And Mayor Daley officially signed it into proclamation on June the 9th of 2003 that Chicago's Hip Hop Heritage Month would be observed in the month of July. So from July 1st through July 31st, we're celebrating the essence of Chicago hip hop and all of its elements.
My name is Artistic, and I'm a graffiti writer, b-boy, former DJ, and former MC. Born and raised here in Chicago on the south side, southeast side, or come up off on 101st. And been representing hip hop here in Chicago since '82. So I've always wanted to be a part of a movement. Before I got into hip hop, it was bikes and video games. But in '82, I made that transition from bikes and video games into hip hop, and it's been downhill ever since, you know.
And I can tell you, just from me, how humbling it is, but I best believe that if any of these people that are on this wall came to this monument, I call it a monument, the history behind it, to see themselves on a wall in what is practically a museum. There are no words to explain what this is. I can't explain it. I can only say I'm in awe.
Look around. I'm in a few pictures, so if you want to see. Man, it's wonderful, man. How about this? I was in the one room. I'm looking at a picture of me and nephew, 12 gauge, right? There's a picture. That's Mario Gage, for you all don't know, HPK DJ. But anyway, Kingdom points out to me, he says, man, there's a picture from HPK in the studio. He said, isn't that you? And that's probably the only picture that I know of me in the studio of HPK, and that had to be about 1988. So think about where you were in 88, maybe 87. So it's that kind of thing, you know? I didn't know that picture existed. I looked at the wall and didn't recognize myself. So that's the kind of experience that you know, you'll have here, especially if you were around back in the day.
Well, some people gonna trip on me, but I really believe that Chicago is probably more responsible for what New York calls hip hop than New York is actually responsible for what New York calls hip hop. Soul Train was created here in Chicago. I was younger. I learned how to pop from watching Soul Train. I learned how to do the electric boogie from Soul Train. I seen Rerun and Roger and Rerun doing his thing before I knew what hip hop was. So I can't say that when I took on this culture that I was quote unquote hip hop. when they branded the term hip hop, that was a New York thing. But that was a New York commercial thing, a New York, we're gonna try to make profit from it. In Chicago, we were still learning that what we thought their definition of hip hop was hip movement. You hip is being in tune with the knowledge and whatever, and being the broadcasters of the streets for the rest of the country through music. That's what we thought.
So today we're representing the elements of Chicago hip hop, which is Chicago Hip Hop Heritage Month number 18. And you know, it's a very special event, you know, because we're collaborating and collecting history and stories over all the years, going all the way back to Soul Train that began in 1970, August of 1970 to be exact. So for most people that don't know that history, just know that it started in Chicago. And it's a good feeling to know and see and hear the stories behind people come into this exhibit, because it's a living exhibit. It's living legends. We are representing people on the walls. And when they come in and they see their picture on the wall and they can give a story about an experience that they've had in terms of contributing to the culture of Chicago hip hop, is kind of heartwarming.
When we had rap battles, it was out, we went to people's neighborhoods. In your own neighborhood, you would see a group of guys come. We weren't coming to fight you. We weren't there to fight. We was there to battle. We had our crew, you had your crew. And then whatever neighborhood you was in, if you told us whatever neighborhood you was in, we was coming. Because we wanted our crew to be the best crew in the city. That's what it was. But it had nothing to do with violence. When you saw a big ass crowd around, I mean like literally hundreds of people trying to just boast their way in to see who was doing what, never did you ever think it was a fight going on. You always knew somebody's dancing in that crowd, or somebody is rapping in that crowd. And that's what the neighborhood came to see. And as we've seen it blossom into worldwide billion kind of quality, sometimes trillionaire quality, money that had been generated from little black kids in the neighborhood doing little black things that we did. We didn't know at that time. What we did know, who was exploiting us, you know, you had a record company that was built off of rappers, literally. Def Jam, literally built off of rappers. Went on to make billions of dollars.
So it was supposed to only be here for the month of July, which is Chicago Hip Hop Month, and there's a resolution that's posted on the wall. Then when you visit, you can see that's, you know, every month is in July, Chicago Hip Hop Heritage Month. So these guys are, you know, kind of carrying the torch. And but anyway, they're supposed to go just to July. I think we're going to be here all year now. So that's why I want people to get out and support it. Who knows where it can go, you know?
This whole exhibit is not about the rappers that made it, but the community that made it. The community of breakers, b-boys, breakers, graffiti writers, MCs, DJs. We had poor righteous teachers in the community that was hip hop. All that, the knowledge, all those elements has been brewing in the underground of Chicago hip hop without a major record company here pushing us. I look at Chicago artists when New York stopped making rap hip hop music, when they stopped making hip hop, when everything wasn't about how many records you sold, how much guns you got, how much dope you sell, how much money you spend on this. Chicago artists have always remained true to the essence of hip hop.
I would like to personally see the exhibit reach people that it normally wouldn't reach, so that way people could get an understanding of what the history of Chicago hip hop really is. It's a progressive work in progress with this exhibit, and obviously we want to continue to develop it. We still got pieces that we want to add to it, and we want to actually make it virtual as well. So for people that's not able to physically come to Chicago, they'll be able to look at it online somewhere, you know, at least portions of it, see some of because this can all be broken down into specifics you know, hey, this is gallery A or this is gallery B, and within this gallery A or gallery B, it showcases this particular part of the culture from Chicago's perspective, you know, about what he's seen, because some people know bits and pieces, but when you can come to something that showcases a collective, you know, you'll be surprised at what you may or may not know.